Hi everybody, this is a quick video to show you how to correct an error that was caused by a bug in SnapPlus version 3, and that's related to how organic matter and pH values for your soil tests were rounded if you created your V3 plan by importing your version 2 database before October 24th, 2025. So I just want to walk you through this because I want you to understand what the bug was and then how to fix it. So right now we're looking at my version 2 database for my Greene County dairy. And you can see in this particular example on field 2, I have two different soil test dates. I've got a 2023 and a 2019 test. They're both in the fall. Now let's just notice here on the 4 samples that I have, the pH and organic matter values are rounded to the 10th place, so they have 1 decimal, and that is exactly as we would expect. Now, I created a version of this plan in version 3 by importing it, and I want to show you what the bug looks like. So when we go to my version 3, again, we're on field 2. I've got the same 2 soil tests, but notice my pH and my organic matter values, they have been rounded to the nearest whole number. So this is something that has been corrected now in SnapPlus version 3. But if you have a plan that was impacted by this, we actually have an easy fix, and I want to walk you through that today to make sure that your soil test records are consistent. And this is especially important if you use SnapPlus for Lyme recommendations, or as many people do, SnapPlus is your main way of keeping track of and looking at your historical soil test values. So in order to fix this, we can head back to our version 2 database because that's where all this soil test information was when we imported it. And we can go to the Import-Export menu, and under Export Data, we'll click Export Soil Tests. This pulls up a pop-up, and the first thing we need to do is select where we will save our export file. So on my computer, I'll click this little blue File button, and I'm going to save mine to my Documents folder. SnapPlus will automatically give a name to your soil tests, but you can change it if you wish. Once you've made your selections here, you can click Accept. Your next choice is one of these 3 radio buttons about which soil test to export. I find calendar year to be easy here, but you could also pick crop year because they both span 365 days. Now the final choice you have to make is which calendar years or crop years you're exporting. In my example, I want to make sure that I capture all of my historical soil test data. So that means that I want to make sure I start at least in 2019 and then go up to 2023, so I'm capturing both of these example test dates. If you have a database with a wider range of years, you may want to select a wider range to make sure you're capturing everything. And keep in mind that you can import multiple test dates at once into version 3. So this doesn't have to be a very long process. You can do it all in one go. In this example, I will adjust my start year to 2019, and then I will adjust my end year to 2023. Then I will click the Next button. Here I select which fields. I want to do all of my fields to export the soil test, so I'm going to click this double arrow pointing to the right, and that will move all of my fields over to the selected column. At this point, I'm ready to click Export. SnapPlus gives me a message reminding me where my data is saved. Remember that because in the next step, we're going to need to find that when we re-import this data to version 3. All right, let's head back to version 3. I'll click OK to get rid of that pop-up. Now, notice I still have my incorrectly rounded values here, but what I can do is I can import my new values, and because they match the exact date and lab and other information, that data will overwrite and update these values to reflect the correct values rounded to the 10th place for pH and organic matter. So let's go through that process. I will select my file. And then once I have my menu pop up here, I need to find wherever I saved that export soil test. So in my example, it's this one here. I'll click on my file and click Open. And then what we see is a pop-up come up, and this is your preview. So a couple things to notice about your preview. In the upper left-hand corner, we don't see any messages about creating new fields. That's a good thing. It means that SnapPlus has found and identified all of these fields. The other thing that I want you to notice is that when you import soil samples, the lab name, you just enter it once at the top. So if you've changed labs a few times over the years, you may need to split up this import and group the years that you had a given lab together, but you can still do multiple years at once. The other thing that you can do here is scroll through and review your data. Notice here that my pH and my organic matter values are being rounded correctly. And then once you've had a chance to take a look at that, we can click Import in the bottom right-hand corner when you're ready to import this data. So clicking Import on this, and then my final step is to refresh this page so that I can see my updated values. In my browser, refresh is at the very top here. And now, when I look at my same field 2, I can see that all of my data has been updated to reflect the correct rounded soil test values for pH and organic matter. I still have my same test states. All my other data remains the same. We apologize for this bug and hope that this video has been helpful in letting you understand a quick fix for correcting these values.